what really frustrates me when I see copy-paste of businesses. You can't be unique if you're following the rest. You have to have a different mission, you have to have a different vision, you have to have your own personality, your own mindset, your own touch to the business where people can understand that it is something different. That's why you will see one restaurant among all these millions like crowded and packed, because he has something completely different from the rest.
You've been known as a serial entrepreneur. You have multiple businesses across multiple industries. What inspired you to start something of your own, and when was it?
My both brother, they used to have their own businesses. Since childhood, I was like, one day I will be there and I will do much better, and I will get to that point where I'm individually, I have my own empire, I have my own business.
Nowadays, social media is going crazy, and you see so many entrepreneurs sort of showing off that lifestyle.
All of these are of materialistic distraction. You need to understand that when you're in a business, there is nothing could distract you rather than focusing on your business itself. So I know a lot of people who are really dedicated to their work. They don't care about all these luxurious things because they're creating those luxurious things. For me, it's very important to know the owner, the decision maker. So the moment I understand the decision maker, his mindset and his character, that will reflect into the project. So the moment you see someone who's really dedicated and he's always there and he's responsible and he's professional, that will reflect into the project. But if you see someone who's partying, doing this and doing that and showing off and everything, you will know that he will not succeed.
How do you think the market will look like in Dubai real estate in the next 5 years while adapting these technologies? Hi Salem. Welcome to Beyond Luxury by Arista. It's a pleasure and honor to have you here.
Thank you for having me over here.
So we have heard so many stories about you. Of course, we have seen you on Dubai Bling, and you've been known as a serial entrepreneur. You have multiple businesses across multiple industries, from real estate, construction. You've been in media, and I'm sure it's been a wonderful experience in a place like Dubai. So have a lot of questions, but to begin with, we also know that you come from a very wealthy background, right? So what inspired you to start something of your own, and when was it?
I mean, my family actually starting from my brother. My brother was the role model. Both of my brother was the more role model for me since childhood. So I've seen them, mashallah, they have done their best level of, educating themselves and then educating the kids, my nephews, my cousins, on all of us. So they paid so much attention to our education. Mm-hmm. And then plus I used to see them all the time. They're like 500% focused on the business. We're talking about in the old days that where there are very few people who were, an entrepreneur, right? Yes. Majority of them, they were like in the government sector working as a, 8 to 5 or 7 to 6 of a fixed job, right? So my both brother actually they used to work, and then plus they used to have their own businesses. They were into retail, wholesale, chain of supermarkets and so on. And they themselves sitting over there in the supermarket and selling, that gave me huge inspiration. So since childhood, I was like, one day I will be there and I will do much better, and I will get to that point where I'm individually I have my own empire, I have my own business.
So when exactly, if we were to point out, right? So when you were obviously being raised, you saw the elders in the family, your brother, your father doing such great things, and that inspired you. So I think it comes in your blood that, I am a born entrepreneur. You've learned the basics in the family.
Exactly.
And then when you went abroad for studies, if I'm not wrong, I'm sure there are a lot of things which you probably must have learned from there, or you must have seen people doing. So was it the good or the bad? What was it that you saw abroad?
So it's a good thing that people if you want to make sure that any of the family member, while they're starting any type of business, they need to travel. They need to see, the ease and the difficult. Now, when you're at your own hometown, you have everything easy for you because you have the family support, you have a government support, you have the system support. But when you travel abroad and then you see that people in the same caliber, right? They have achieved so much or even much better with more difficulties, right? No support, no government support, system is down, corruption, everything, but yet they're successful.
Yes.
So then when you see that and then you compare yourself between this and that and you say, no, I'm not doing good, right? Because I had all the facilities to be successful, but I'm still on the same standard of someone who was struggling to reach to that level, and he's doing really good. So there is something wrong with my formula. So I have to work triple whatever I'm doing now.
Yeah.
You got my point? So every time I travel, I've been to India, I've been to China, I've been to the States, I've been all over, right? And I've seen how people actually, they function in their businesses, and how they're like precise and consistent and hard worker, especially in the Latin America. They're like no mercy at all. There is no mercy, right? And but they're like the country is like so poor in certain countries that are so poor, right? But they're like waking up, and you see the smile on their faces, see they're doing right. They have a hope. There is a hope of one day we're gonna achieve, one day we're gonna survive, one day we're gonna be in the top of the line.
Yeah. So has there been any source of inspiration when you've traveled abroad that you have brought in into a business? And let's say you travel, you saw something as a great idea, and then you said, yes, hey, this is making sense. Let me take this. This is going to make a great business in Dubai.
Yeah. So, I mean, when we traveled, like me and my nephew, actually, my nephew is older than me, and we were studying in the States. Yeah. So he saw also a lot of business concept that could be adopted here in UAE. So one of the concepts actually was the Dubai Outlet Mall.
Yes.
So one of the malls that he brought, because we used to study in Los Angeles, and then we used to travel from Los Angeles to Las Vegas, and we used to see these shopping centers in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
And we didn't understand what's the concept behind this. Like, why would someone have a shopping center in the middle of nowhere? What was like the expectation to have from where you will get the footfall, where it's in the middle of desert? Yes. But then that concept actually inspired my nephew when he brought this concept of it. Was the first of its kind. And thank God, touch wood, Sheikh Mohammed gave him the blessing, and Dubai government gave him the blessing of starting such a project where they facilitate everything for him so that he can achieve his goals and his dream. And that was a blessing for the family. And then we started in construction. Everything was in-house from A to Z. And thank God, touch wood, today we have done great in that shopping center, and alhamdulillah, we're doing now the second phase of the mall, which we never expected to see. I mean, the first phase of the mall to have such an audience or such an footfall, right? So you're talking about a minimum of 35,000 per day footfall, where there is zero entertainment, right? There's zero window shoppers. So people purely come actually for shopping, rather than when you compare us to other shopping center, you see majority of the people over there, let's say 50%, they come for coffee shops or cinemas or any source of entertainment. But you come to the outlet mall, there's zero entertainment. So the people actually, we make sure that they come only for shopping. And this is how you secure, the sales, the transaction for all your tenants in the shopping center.
So for a common man, if you can give an idea of, what's the concept behind this outlet mall? I mean, we know that
the concept, like, because when my nephew started actually, or the family business, my brother and so on, all of us, we started in this concept. We didn't understand what was the difference between a factory outlet and then normal shopping center. And then when we did our study, then we understood that there is a seasonal shopping. So before we didn't have anything called summer, winter, or autumn, right? So you go to the shops and then you find anything you want in any occasions,
yes,
right? And then there's the discount. Actually, usually it comes only for either a public holiday or a holiday. Then you see those discounts. Yes. So we understood that in the factory outlet there is no such thing called seasonal discounts. It's this discounts during the year. And there are certain brands where they have a luxurious prestige image where they cannot have those discounts.
There are no discounts.
Right? There's no discounts, and they can't put it outside of the shops where, to showcase their product. So that's why they return it back to the factory where they have it in a lesser price. So if it's for winter, then it goes to the summer. Then if it's in the last stage of the season, then they take it back to the factory. So that concept was something new to the region over here.
Of course. So when this idea was brought in, by you and your nephew, I'm sure you must have got a mixed reaction. So were there people who called it a complete crazy idea and said, what are you talking about? This is not something which we have seen in UAE.
A lot of critics came. A lot of people, they were like, you're crazy. Nobody will come. Who do you think you are? Competing with the tycoons. Another time was like Al Ghurair shopping center. Burjuman was there at that time. City Center just started, right? And they're like, how dare you do something like that? And then you compete with a tornado, for instance, right? No way, no chance. Yeah. But I mean, once you have a belief and you have a faith in God that, whatever you're doing with a good vision and a mission, and then you have a good team that who can support you and help you and then believe in your dream also that you can achieve. Thank God, with the blessing of the government, definitely. I mean, they gave us that support of making sure that we achieve such a project.
I think it's really important to be supported, and especially when you have that crazy idea, because a lot of entrepreneurs, when they think of something which has not been done before, they do get a lot of criticism. So, talking about your journey and talking about, of course, you have been in different businesses across different verticals. What are the commonalities or the common points you have seen in driving businesses? That these are five things which are
honestly like
extremely important.
what really like frustrates me when I see copy paste of businesses.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, what percentage of success that you think or profitability that you think you will have among 1,000 other similar businesses that you do? You got my point? So either you are different or either you're providing something new that which is not presented to the market, or otherwise you're just copying and pasting same ideas of other people, and then you're expecting to be better than them in the same concept. That honestly, like I don't encourage or I don't support. So that's why most of my, let's say, public speaking or panels or podcasts, I always advise entrepreneur to have something unique, something different. You can't be unique if you're following the rest, right? You have to have a different mission. You have to have a different vision. You have to have a different, a character, right? Your own personality, your own, your own mindset, your own touch into the business where people can understand that it is something different. That's why you will see one road, millions of restaurants. Then you see one restaurant among all these millions, like crowded and packed, because he has something completely different from the rest.
So I was about to, I was thinking of the same, that, when you go to one Chinese restaurant, but there isn't just one Chinese restaurant in the city. There are many.
Exactly.
And there is one which is very well known for its food or its service, and the rest are just average, where people do come, but it might not become a unicorn.
Yes, I mean, you have to be you have to be very creative in doing things. I mean, let's say now for everyone knows that the demand of real estate is very high.
Yeah.
So, and there are a lot of real estate companies in Dubai. There are a lot of developers in Dubai where they're trying to be very unique and try. So everyone is like number one.
Yes.
So if you check on their website, everyone's like number one in sales, number one in project, number one in that, and then you don't understand who's better than whom.
Exactly.
As a client point of view.
So when you do such kind of, since we're talking about real estate, right, and branded residences, when you talk about branded residency, it does attract you. It is very appealing when you think of such collaborations or such partnerships. We have seen developers that from a markup perspective, the markup really sort of goes like 30 to 40%
so the
high.
developer, when they do that, you need to understand when they do that, they have a concept of a trust, right?
Yes.
In the business, what do you need? You need a trust.
True.
Now, how can I gain a trust? If you have 5 buildings, it's a copy of everything, right? Now, what will make the client choose from the 5 buildings to come to your building? It's a trust. You got my point? So if you have Nike on top of the building, that means Nike, which everyone knows, which everyone trusts, is trusting you. Right?
True.
So you're buying the trust. It's not about the brand itself. It's about the clientele that you have who's trusting that brand. So you bought that trust, add it on top of your building. And this is how you attracted most of their clientele to your building. And this is how you become very unique.
I think it's also important for a lot of new developers, because for them to have, such partnerships are important at any level, which can bring in the trust and show them that, we have trusted partners, so you can trust us.
Exactly.
Because I'm new, so I do not have a heritage to show that I have created so many great buildings, so I do not have a legacy, but my intention is to create legacy. So I have already partnered with such brands which have been known for ages.
Exactly.
However, talking about the brands which have not, let's say, ventured into branded residencies, we still have many.
There's a huge room. A huge room into so many things. Like, let's say now, if I talk about, a new concept, I can just create a new concept immediately. Just now on any developing project, right?
Yeah.
Especially now with the trending cryptocurrencies or AI, right? So now, if you try to integrate these two businesses together, then you're creating a massive
Yes, of
impact
course.
on the because there is a huge audience in that, and there is a huge audience on the AI. So now, if you integrate AI with similar projects, people will have a different perception, right? Different mindset of understanding that this project or this community is being supported by AI. So what does that mean? What does the AI supports these projects, and what's the outcome?
They'll be
behind it,
curious
right?
to know, and
Exactly. So now that as you
can
can see that, I mean, Dubai government also recently announced that they're allowing the tokenization into these property. What does that mean? That there is a new door is going to open, right? So it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be that difficult, but it will educate also the people to something completely new. Now, in the old days where you thought that we could have a project with one piece of paper, now it's been tokenized. So see the huge difference between we're talking about 2002, 2003, and now you're talking about tokenization where there is zero documentation in doing such a transaction, right?
So talking about, this tokenization is something which we'll definitely go back, and we'll talk in details. But since we're talking about the branded residency, I want to know that there are still developers who are not taking this way, right? Who are not going into branded residency. How do you differentiate between these developers? What are the things that makes you feel that a developer should have to make them stand out in a market like Dubai?
I mean, see, the quality is very important. Understanding, because see, each developer have their own reputation, they have their own recipe in the market, and the market is not full. The audience, the customer, they understand each developer, what exactly their concept and what their mindset is, and what's their mission and vision, right? So if you're talking about niche market, and then your market is the average clientele, right? Everyone will understand that your quality base is on the average. You got my point? Then if you go into the high standard, you go to these developer, you understand that they have done project, they have a huge right achievement they have done and they have delivered. Now, one single mistake, you lose your credibility. And there are a lot of developers over here, they lost their credibility because of, they came with the massive design, massive image, and they never delivered. Deliverables is very important. That if you set a time and then you don't deliver on that time, people, they lose the credibility because you make them suffer. You make them pay extra amount. Whenever you create a project in a certain period, right? People calculate immediately that within that period, this is how much I will make. So if you extend, then he lost the opportunity, and you can't compensate that. You got my point. So this is exactly what happened with the developers. If you don't deliver on time, right, precisely, then you lost the moment you delay 1 month, that's it. Consider that you have lost your credibility with your client.
But let's say that's also coming. So, let me give you a scenario in which when was the first time you invested in real estate?
I mean, the first time is actually when it was booming. Amar was just started with the project called the Greens community, right?
Really?
So yeah. So that was the Greens was the first project.
What year was it approximately?
You're talking about 2002, 2001. Before Do Telecommunications, Do, I think there was a company called Salem. So that used to belong to Amar. Okay, they're the one who started with the Do Telecommunication. So they used to support their own community, right? Before they go on an IPO public offering. So that was the first project. And then if you enter the project, you will see the sizes was huge, massive. The room was big, right? They don't understand the commercial part of it, right? So they used to invest in a bigger space, bigger land, and this is how much they sold these projects. So at that time, before even JBR, I remember that was Marina Promenade. So there was the first investment I did, and thank God I've sold that property immediately on a cash basis, and I got like 300% net on it.
Wow.
Yeah, and exited over there. At that time, imagine people used to make money by lining up before the launch of the project. Imagine, just used to sell the ticket at, imagine, 300, 400,000 a ticket.
Ticket for the event?
That's it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Because, first come, first serve. So the moment you have number one, imagine number one was sold around 2 million dirham. If you go back to the news, you will see one person has sold on the line. He was waiting in the queue.
So you purchased and you...
Yeah, so people actually used to buy several tickets with several people, and they used to sell the tickets to the public.
Amazing. Interesting.
They didn't buy the apartments. They just bought the tickets, and they sold it on the spot.
On the spot.
They sold it on the spot.
Wow. That must be crazy.
And then they made the rules and regulation that every passport is allowed one ticket. Yeah, you got my point. Yeah. So then they found another loop that they hired different people and they paid them money to line up.
To, of course,
Yeah,
go with the passport and then do it for them.
It was crazy, honestly. To be honest, it was crazy. But it was an opportunity. People saw that opportunity coming, and that was the boom of it. And then, unfortunately, 2008 happened, and everything went back, to the normalization. And then slowly, things start coming up, and the government has done massively, right, to recap what was their vision and mission. And thank God today, you can't even complain.
So your experience, of course, has been so vast. When you, as you mentioned, that when you started investing, and there used to be a queue, and people used to pay for queue, and now the dynamics of purchasing a property has completely changed. You can simply just go online and make a purchase. You can invest in offline property using PropTech. However, my question still remains the same, that as an investor, what were you looking for a developer, let's say back in 2002? What are you looking for a developer now in 2025? Because the number of developers at that time and number of developers now have changed drastically.
See, in the old days, nobody can afford to create such huge project. It was only very few public shared holding companies. Let's say for instance, like Nakhil and Amar and Damak at that time, and there was few developer. They don't exist anymore, but they were like the top of the line, and everyone knew that they had the capability, right, to deliver such a project, and there is no chance for them to mislead the customers or not to deliver, right? I know the competition was very few. Today, you're talking about, every step you go into any office building, you will find a developer or a real estate company. I always advise my colleagues or my partners to invest in Dubai. But again, you have to do the due diligence. You have to check the background. You have to see, the project that they have delivered, the consultant, the contractor, and then the reputation in the market. Immediately will give you the indication whether this developer has, the right mission and vision, has delivered these projects on time without any discrepancies, without any, any excuses of delivering such projects.
So I'm curious to know, since we're talking about this, that how was your experience when you came to Arista?
Yeah.
So
to be honest with you, like I'm a type of person, because see, I'm a contractor. Right, so I've been in the construction business for the past 20 years. So I understand specifically any project. The moment I pass by a project and I see it, and I know it's.
Yeah, I think you look at it and you know that.
I will know, right?
How
because I've done that, and I understand whether it's worth it, not worth it. It's like overrated, underrated, and all of this stuff. So every time I go to any developer, a lot of developing company owners are a close friend of mine. So so I understand when I go to any project and I see the character. So for me, it's very important to know the owner, the decision maker, right? So the moment I understand the decision maker, his mindset and his character, that will reflect into the project.
True.
You got my point? So the moment you see someone who's really dedicated and he's always there and he's responsible and he's professional, takes everything in a very legit way, that will reflect into the project. But if you see someone who's partying, doing this and doing that and showing off and everything, you will know that he will not succeed.
I think that's a very good point that you made, because nowadays social media is going crazy, and you see so many entrepreneurs, so many influencers, so many people sort of showing off that lifestyle, particularly in Dubai.
Yes.
Because they say that, hey, I have this luxury car, I stay in that fancy, villa or an apartment, I'm going to these events. It's good to probably tell your story, but it's always revolved around what you have, which we call it as that, you're showing off that, I'm wearing this
branded stuff,
this watch, these shoes, my Gucci.
So these all of these are materialistic distraction.
Yes.
You need to understand that when you're in a business, there is nothing could distract you rather than focusing on your business itself. So I know a lot of people who are really dedicated to their work. They don't care about all these luxurious things because they're creating those luxurious things.
Because I think it comes to
when you're a manufacturer.
Yes.
You can't be a retailer, right?
True.
The retailer buy from the manufacturer. So if you're a developer, you're a manufacturer. You're supposed to deliver, right? You're supposed to produce. So your focus has to be 100% on the production, not into the show off. You're not a retailer.
Yes.
A retailer shows off, right?
True.
So if you go to the shop, he will be showing off his product, right, to the public.
Yes.
I mean, you never see a factory in the mall, right, trying to show off that I'm producing those. You will never see that. They always see them hidden behind the scenes.
I
So
think
the
it's
developer is
all-
actually a factory,
True.
right?
And I think it's all about the mindset. People who are really creative and who are creating, no matter it's real estate or anything else, their focus is on the creation.
Exactly.
The focus is not on showcasing the lifestyle which they have. They are just so laser
Your
focused
focus
on
is
what
to
they
deliver a fine product,
True.
right? That's your focus.
And
Deliver.
money just flows to them. They are not focusing on telling people that I own this and I stay here and
So the
I'm
mass
going for
production that
vacation.
you get, right? The mass production they get, the more gain you trust you gain from your retailers, right? So retailers, you sell real estate companies, they come to you as a developer or they're a construction company or the consultant company. When they come, they understand that this manufacturing company, they're going to produce, they're going to deliver, they're going to do everything precisely, nicely, wisely, in a disciplined manner, right? So the moment I entered, Arista, and I've seen, the mock-up and everything, beautiful presentation, amazing, and I met both of the owners, and I've seen the way they function, the way they their mindset, and then the intellectual, how they are dedicated to the lifestyle, and then they're not trying to deliver something which has been delivered before. They want to focus on something which is beyond luxurious. So this is what I really loved, honestly, like something like whenever you leave, you will always remember, it's like, no, this is not normal. And then if you want to do something, you're going to do something even much better than
I think the vision is what makes, as you rightly put, right? It sort of delivers in the project, and when you talk to them, you know that it's not limited to this. It's just
whenever you go to a fine dine, you'll always ask about the chef.
Yes.
Right? So the moment the chef comes to you, you feel that you've been honored.
Yeah.
Right? And then definitely the chef understands the recipe of creating this project. So when I entered and I saw both of the chefs creating this project, honestly, I salute them for doing such a project, amazing project. I mean, for a contractor to see quality of such project and precisely the material has been used, not any type of material. The design has been designed to meet and far exceed the expectation of certain calibers. So it's an amazing project. I really I would love to see the end results.
Same here. We all are waiting and we are exciting. The construction, thankfully, has been going. The progress is amazing, is on time. And we can't just wait.
I mean, see, once you create a community, the most important for me is once you have a house like that, you need a community, right? Because if you live in such a house, you will not be living alone, right? You will have your family, you will have your kids. So the moment you provide such a facility, luxurious facility, let's say the club or the lounge or mixed use of facility for your family, for your kids, and so on. That gives you the comfort zone, right? I'm paying for something. I'm not paying just for the look. I'm paying for the service. I'm paying for the community, which will give me a luxurious divine.
Yes, I think it's all the comfort and the feel which you get, because it's not for yourself. It's at the end for the family, and you sort of feel connected.
Exactly.
To the community, to Dubai, and that's why the location plays a very important part. And this particular project, like Wadi Villas, is in Maidan. It's close to the city. It's not so far, yet it's closed community in which you go, and you're not in the hustle and bustle of the city.
Yes.
You go and you feel like, okay, now you can relax and be at home.
Exactly.
So that does play an important part, and we all want a home.
No, I loved it, honestly. I loved it. The presentation was beautiful, honestly, really beautiful. Didn't leave any gap of anything that you could say but or you didn't do this or you didn't do that. No, it was 100% complete satisfaction, right? So that it makes you say that, okay, I can live in this place very happily with my family.
Whenever it comes to real estate in Dubai, we often think of residential real estate. Residential units, villas are trending. We have seen a shift. People are obviously preferring more villas because there are so many millionaires and billionaires coming to Dubai. So they prefer staying in certain communities, larger communities, or communities which are either branded or by the ocean, or let's say centrally located like Maidan. We don't really talk about the commercial real estate here. However, we overall have seen a great shift in terms of how commercial real estate has been perceived in Dubai real estate. Because at the same time, when we are saying the millionaires and billionaires are coming to Dubai, they are not just coming here and buying a villa and staying. A lot of good companies, AI, tech, healthcare companies are coming and moving and opening their businesses because there is an ease in doing business in Dubai. So what do you think of how the market will change in the commercial real estate?
I mean, the market has already been shifted, already been changed. I mean, you want to cope up with what's going on in the market. You need to understand the mission and the vision of the country itself, the government itself.
Yeah.
So when you see that Dubai has created a new airport, what does that mean? Right? There is a huge commercial potential is going to be surrounding, right?
Yes.
Whether it's a cargo, whether it's a warehouses, whether it's everything surrounding an airport is a success commercial business, right? You name it, everything, whether it's from an engineering perspective or a tech or anything related to that will be surrounding that project. So the existing Dubai airport is all congested, right? There's no room for not even 1 centimeter of an extension, right? But now the Maktoum airport is a massive airport, right? So whatever happened in the expo, but nobody could believe that could have happened, and it happened. So now there is a huge development happening in that area. So everybody, all the commercials are actually shifting over there, going away from the traffic. And there are a huge community is coming over there, even the commercial. So you have warehouses, you have labor accommodation, you have, as you can see, fruits, massive storage is happening. Anything related to aviation in that area. So there is no limit. There is no stop for a commercial. I mean, the residential is what the norms of everyone knows about, but the commercial side, it's massive, it's crazy.
Yes, because it's not something which we talk about a lot.
Exactly.
But do you believe
because you're talking about
the
bulk, right? You're talking about, so majority of the companies, when they come over here and then they open these massive warehouses and a manufacturing division, there's there are no joke, right? I have one of my friends who has a business with renovating vehicles. The moment I entered his showroom, it wasn't a showroom. It was a city. It was a city. It was something like beyond imagination, like a lounge with a warehouse, with the club, a factory, everything in one go. It was this is close to Al Maktoum airport. Amazing facility. Like, inshallah, very soon we'll be doing a complete the tour of that factory.
That'll be very crazy to see. But tell me, what do you think? Because we talk about luxury real estate, and we keep on saying that there are luxury residences, there are luxury apartments, luxury villas. When it comes to the commercial office spaces, right? Do you think there is a lack of premium office spaces in Dubai?
Yeah. So there is no lack of premium, but the demand is different, right? So majority, you're talking about mid class and the average class.
Yeah.
So that's why you see a lot of them, they have business centers rather than they're having their own full-fledged floor of a commercial unit.
True.
So that's why the demand is very less on that part. And to safeguard the cost of it, so most of them, they try to shift into the business centers to make it more facilitate and easy. I mean, the people they're trying to be more creative in allowing that to happen, right? So if you have that option and you see it in front of you, for you it's easy to go and facilitate. More convenient, more easy, because everything registered. So now you will go in one business center will offer you everything. I mean, trade license with the office, with the furniture.
It's very plug and play model.
Exactly. Anytime you don't like, you want to move, you can move out without having any cost of shifting or closing down and everything. But I mean, looking into having if a major company or a developer comes and then they have their own, full floor fledged of a commercial unit, then they understand that, we are here to stay for long. We have a project going to last for 10, 15, 20 years. So therefore, for me, it's better to have such unit or such a floor or such facility to make my life, easier. Like I've been to one of my friends also, without mentioning the name, right?
Yeah.
So it was a small office. Now he has a whole 5 floors in the building, right?
Nice.
Showcasing his project, showcasing his thing, lounges, meeting, media, everything in that. So for him, what's much easier and convenient.
Great. And do you see that, when it comes to the creative part, that there is a scope of bringing innovation or maybe building smart offices, as we talk about, because we are bringing a lot of innovation or making, let's say, functional homes in the residential sector. However, we haven't seen that going in commercial development. So when businesses go and purchase an office, as you rightly said, a lot of them are going for, let's say, co-working space or business centers because everything is very simplified. The larger companies, on the other hand, when they have a good stack of team and have all from production to the sales team, they have everything in house. They go for multiple floors in a building. So in this case, do you think that there is a good scope of innovation in the commercial segment?
See, if you go into, let me talk about government offices.
Yeah.
Now they're being very innovative in way of having a wide space, open, minimalist way of design, right?
Yeah.
Simplicity, not like before. So the cost is less, right? And they're trying to, and there is no there is no door on the offices. So if you go to Dubai Innovation Center, you'll be amazed how they have done it. So it's like you're going into a park, you're going into a museum, you're going to something like very unique, you won't believe that it is a government based company.
Yeah.
You got my point? So I've seen similar been done with other organizations where they've become very innovative, very creative in making these offices very how you can luxurious, outgoing, nice atmosphere. It was very I was very amazed to see such commercial units have been done in a very creative way.
I think the whole space, from a design perspective, we have seen a huge shift. And people are also preferring to sort of, as you rightly said, minimalistic design in which there is more space for movement.
Exactly.
Because gone are the days when people had lots of cabins and typical office structure with a desk and a
the
chair.
old school,
That's old school. Now people...
So everyone, they're doing like a style of lounge, coffee shop.
Exactly.
So it's like you come in easy, you feel free, you feel...
That's a feel of community which they're trying to create in an office space, that everybody's sitting here, everybody has freedom. And that's what they're trying to say, that, you can sit anywhere and you can still have your meeting. If you have a meeting, you go to the meeting room, do your stuff and come back. So it sort of makes people feel more approachable.
Exactly.
And give you an open environment, open ideas can flow in. And also a lot of commercial developments are sort of bringing sustainability
so
into
I've seen a couple of offices, they brought a new cube noise cancellation cabinets.
Yeah.
So if you have a meeting, you just go inside that meeting room with two, let's say, 1-to-1, right? And then you close the cabinet completely. No one hears. You don't hear anything. No one hears nothing from inside outside.
This is great.
So you go inside, no noise, no
You're in a zen mode.
Your own zone, no distraction. So everyone is using that cabinet now. They're getting those cubes.
That's
actually.
wonderful.
Yeah, they're bringing those cubes from China, I think, or from Asia.
Yeah.
And then they're implementing those everywhere you go now. You'll find these cubes now.
Got it. So talking about these technologies being implemented, right, and we're still talking about real estate. So let's say we have seen tokenization, which we were discussing before, that now it is a fairly new concept for people, in which people can now buy a token of property instead of buying the entire property unit by itself, which so far has gained so much of popularity. So many investors and global investors are obviously... it's a great opportunity for them to invest and see the potential of real estate in Dubai. So I want to see what's your call on that. There is also, when we talk about tokenization, we also say that it is sort of putting the real estate broker out of the game, because now an investor is, let's say, investing in a property directly from the government, from the side, let's say PRIPCO. So they go on the website, they check all the details, they buy a token or multiple tokens of it, and within a minute, you put your credit card and you're done. So the whole game of talking to a broker and listening to the payment plans, everything is sort of being taken away from that journey. Do you think that this process will actually eliminate, or in the future, how we are developing the real estate will eliminate the real estate.
See, when you're talking about tokenization, it's a very selective type of clientele, right? You can't compare majority to minority. Now the minority have that, right? So you can't eliminate the majority because of the minority is going to invest in such things, right? So now if you're talking about Bitcoins, how many people who can afford to buy Bitcoin? How many people now they're investing actually in cryptocurrency or participating in part, right? I mean, you can't compare that. Majority actually they have the biggest share in the market. So no matter what you do, you can't eliminate or you can't say that it's been forced by a government or by sudden force that no more I mean, broker will be in the market, they're forbidden or anything. You can't do that. It's a business form, right? Now if you go into the application of the Land Department or RERA or Dubai Arista, and then you can see all the application gives you, I mean, the whole profile of the broker, right?
Yes.
How many sales he has done, how many business he has closed, and what's his reputation, how many stars he got, and all of that. I mean, for you to believe in that is very important, right? Because this is how it makes you trustworthy.
That's the trust.
That's the trust. I mean, okay, if you own Bitcoin and then you want to purchase such a property, you go for it. So the option is available, right? But it doesn't mean that's going to eliminate what's existent, right? They said they brought the electronic cars. The petrol is still there. You can't eliminate the petrol, right? These are massive industries. You can't just wake up in the morning, khalas, we don't need petrol anymore. You can't do that. There's like million of gas stations. Every single day you will see a new gas station is opening. Like in one road you will have like, how many gas stations you will have? So even though, but there is a production of electrical cars.
Yes.
Right. So you can't completely ignore
and shut down.
You can't be. I mean, yes, you can create that fear, and people can create the fear. But I mean, at the end of the day, human touch is very important, right?
Absolutely.
To have that face-to-face showcasting. I mean, the tokenization won't take you to the project and show you the project and explain to you the sizes and. Can't answer all the question, calling you middle of the night, let's go for a dinner, explain to me how does this project work and how much profit it can make. So no, that won't happen. But I mean, it's a happy moment actually for those who are into that position and they have the will and the ability to purchase a property with their tokenization or with the tokens that they have. Then you have opened a new platform. You got my points. I mean, you will see a lot of them now. What they do, they have all that cryptocurrencies. What they're buying material, cars, luxurious things, right?
Yeah.
But if you give them that opportunity, then it's a good option that now you have an option for them to buy properties in Dubai.
So it's one of the opportunities or one of the windows that has opened up, right, for the investors, that now they can use crypto, and a lot of them are not, I mean, using, let's say, other payment methods or regular cash or income to also invest in tokenized properties.
Exactly.
So for an investor, what do you think? Why is it better for an investor to invest in a tokenization property instead of buying a fully fledged real estate plot of land? Or an apartment?
Every country has a different rules and regulations and policies, right? Now for the people who have liquid and then they transferred it into crypto-based currencies. The reason behind that is that to easy the process, right? Now, once you have a cash or you have a bank transfer, you want to do those type of transaction, it will take you forever to do it. It's not that easy. You can transfer such amount without going into KYC, without going into the due diligence, without going into why, this and that, right? It takes a human. So it's completely different from flying a normal airline, and then from people who can afford push themselves to go into private jet, because time is value for them, right? It makes a huge difference.
True.
So if they can go and finish a meeting and they come back, they have saved a lot of time and they made a lot of money. In cryptocurrencies, is almost the same thing, right? So they imagine they finish the transaction with 5 minutes or 5 seconds. How much you want? How much the property? That's it. Give me this, give me that. It's done deal. You got my point? But now if you want to do as a transaction, advance payment, wait into the bank acceptance, wait for the transfer, if it's in dollar, it has to go to the Central Bank of the States, and then they will do the due diligence over there, and then it will come over here. So it's a headache of a process.
So it's the ease which is making the investors choosing tokenized property.
You can't even imagine how easy. It's like asking ChatGPT question.
It is indeed. I mean, when I tried it, it was like I already knew the property. Exactly. I saw these amenities, these are the floor plans. This would be my calculated ROI. Okay, let me put this much money and it will give me...
I mean, the technology now see, certain technology that didn't reach yet to the GCC. But if you go in the States, you will see certain application where you can transfer money within a phone number. You don't have to do anything. It's just like... Yes. How much do you need? You don't need IBAN number. You don't need that SWIFT number. You don't need that. You don't need anything. Give me the phone number. That's it. And you got the money. You got the amount. You can transfer that to your kids. So imagine that you do it in this such a massive transaction.
Exactly.
See, when you're talking about someone who has that wealth of cryptocurrency, where he can buy 200 million worth of a property in 5 seconds.
Yeah.
So just imagine, right? And then he resell that again with the tokenization.
True. And everything is very transparent.
Exactly.
You know that when do you purchase, when is it being sold to, who was the previous owner. Exactly. So that whole tunnel it's fast, it's transparent.
Exactly.
That's why a lot of people, and of course there's a lot of curiosity around it. I mean, if you have money, why would you not try it?
I mean, look at this. Let's simplify it. Now, when you want to reach to a destination and you check the navigation, so it has an option of walking, a bus, a train, a car, and it gives you the distance time, right?
True.
So what will you choose? You will always choose the fastest speed.
Exactly.
Right? So when the people that are in the business, they will always use the fastest methods and means of finishing a transaction. So when you're talking about crypto, this is the fast. As you're talking about rocket.
Since we're talking so much of technology, crypto, what's your take on Dubai real estate or Dubai in general, let's say, of adapting these new technologies? How do you think the market will look like in Dubai real estate in the next 5 years while adapting these technologies? So, we see a drastic shift.
I mean, this is the first formula that I learned from my brother, both of my brother, and the same formula that I used in the university.
Yeah.
The more risk you take, the more profit you make. I don't think Dubai has a risk factor. They're not scared of anything. They're not afraid of anything. So what does that mean? Anything comes, they will adapt as long as it's going to make a profit for them. You got my point? So you name it. Dubai became whatever it became now, the multi-global iconic country, which is, I mean, to the naked eye of the whole world, it's considered as a small island. But yet it had that shine where everyone can see it. Right?
Absolutely.
No chance, no way could any country do whatever Dubai has done without having that fear. Right? So, and God bless the rulers of UAE. They took the fear off. They did their best level to give that luxurious life, comfort, happiness, family oriented, security, peace. All of that, right? To make sure that the people, when they come over, they have all the luxurious mean of living in a high standard way.
We have seen, you have seen Dubai's real estate market changing, right? As you mentioned that you invested in your first property in 2002 and the market was entirely different. And now you see that things have changed so much. The number of developers have changed. Of course, there is the supply-demand game has entirely changed. Dubai has been known, or it has a history of being a very dynamic market. It's not known, it doesn't have a reputation of a stable real estate market. Yeah. Do you think that the stabilization or this Dubai market will become stable very soon?
Nobody has assurance of long life. We always know that every human being has an expiry date.
Yeah.
But yet, we prevent, we eat healthy, we do all kind of means to stay alive, right? Invest in ourselves, medication, hospital, nutrition, gyms, everything, so that you can stay alive, right? We always say in the real estate, now, if you want to invest in real estate, we have a saying, it says that real estate doesn't die, but it gets sick, right?
Yeah.
It will never die.
True.
It can get sick, no issue. You can have a medication, you'll give it, fix it will come back again.
Yeah.
So there is no guarantee of saying that it will not fall. There is no guarantee that you can say that it's going to stable. It's going to remain the same, right? Nobody expected to have the pandemic. Nobody expected that. Not even the entire earth expected that to happen, but it happened, right? But again, yet, right? UAE government has done their maximum best, right? Within 2 to 3 months, everything was systematic, proper, everything was amazing, right? Organized.
Very organized.
But, I mean, bigger civilizations and country couldn't do whatever has been done over here. People actually used to shift their entire life because of the pandemic, right? Because Dubai has given them that smooth, easy way of doing such transaction, even though it was very critical situation, right? But yet, Dubai managed to control, to systemize everything, and then we're still producing, we're still managing, we're still attracting people, investors, billionaires, trillionaires, right? They shifted their entire wealth over here in Dubai. I don't think those people who managed to transfer their wealth, they didn't predict what's going to happen in the future. They understand. No one can transfer their wealth unless he has done all the due diligence and he has done all the feasibility study for the next 20 or 50 years.
True.
Upcoming.
And there's always a little risk, but I think we all hope for the only people who are, it's a good sign that so many people are moving to Dubai. And
being optimistic is very important, right? Yeah. Being optimistic. I mean, if we come every day, single day, like a fear, this will happen, that will happen, this will happen. You know, the moment that there is one single news of any known entity of the government, they go like, tomorrow something will happen. Maybe the economy will drop. Maybe this will happen. Immediately that will create a fear, similar to what's happening in the States, right? The moment one person says one verb, one word, one thing, and then you see the whole economy dropping down with them, right? So the moment that, Donald Trump said, I might guarantee that Bitcoin will rise up, it went up.
It went up, yes.
From a single, nothing related to charts, nothing related to stock market, nothing related to weather or anything. It was just a single person who was just, throwing a word, and then they have done whatever they have done.
Yes, true. So I think we all hope for the best. We all hope for the better, and it's a great sign because so many people are moving to Dubai. So many people are investing in Dubai. So Dubai
is not rented. See, the rulers of Dubai, or the rulers of UAE, in general, they are not resting at all.
Yes.
Is that my point? So
absolutely.
you see some are investing in AI, some are investing in cryptocurrency, some are investing there into bringing so many other things. I mean, their focus is not only in one business entity. They're focused into so many things that will attract so many people in this country. And if you can see how many visitors are entering Dubai today, it's massive. It's not that easy, right? And then you're attracting all these celebrities, you're attracting all these wealthy people over here. What does that mean? You're opening different opportunities. So there is no chance. If you're lazy and then you say that, okay, but if you're so active and you're so hard working, there is no room or a chance for any type of hesitant.
Yeah. Okay, I think it's been a great chat. Thank you so much for your time. We learned so much, and I hope you enjoyed your time here. And we would love to have.
For sure. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
All my pleasure.
Thank you. Bye-bye.